motherfuckers on the road. Where the hell they learn to drive? Jive turkeys at my job, about to get a cool, cold, mean five. Should've took the day off. Might slap my boss. My own damn kids pissing me off. As if I hadn't had enough. Chipotle, fuck my goddamn order up. I'm fed up, I'm fed up, I'm fed up. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bartender, don't you see me waving you down? This guy came after me, I was here first, but you serving him rounds. No, I bought the Uber here, my friends expecting me to buy it back. Tomorrow morning, I better get a cash app, or every last one of you motherfuckers getting slapped. Bet that. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Woke up this morning with these thoughts in my head. The world would be better off if I just stayed my ass in bed. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait. Hold on here. Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop?
Yes, it is.
It's the barbershop.
Yes.
Wait, I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? We can't talk straight nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation. That's all.
You gotta tell who the park down.
It ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the building. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Welcome to, all right, the Barbershop After Hours, and we're going to talk about, in continuation, there is no standard in the Black community. Scam Likely, I saw he had put it in the chat. Coach Berg, I think he's on the opposite side of that. Guys, if you want to be a part of the show tonight, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to come up, this show is for everybody. This show is for the beauty salon as well as the barbershop. So if there's some ladies out there that want to come up and have something to say about the crack era or anything of that nature, please do come up because we want to hear your voice as well. But to get back to the conversation, so Scam Likely, you said there's no standard in the Black community.
I say there's no standard in there's no standard in general. That's white
in general. Okay.
Middle Eastern, Yugoslavian, and Antarctica also. There are no standards.
So I started off because I said Glasses Malone had a podcast, and it was interesting because he said the only people in America whose culture is truly American are Black folks. Every other race's culture came from somewhere else. Ours is the only culture that literally was generated in America. And so if Black America has no standards, that means America has no standards because our standards literally come from America. And
I
so
say
that's
America
why,
has no standards also. Yeah, absolutely.
oh, so that's why I said, even if you look at the way that we behave, it mirrors America almost directly. When you look at how gangs operate, They literally operate how America operates around the world. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you I mean, if you look at the reputation of how Americans act around the world, it's what they complain about how black people act. Americans go around. What? I don't know if y'all. I know some of the older folks. Y'all remember the white boys that went up to Singapore and decided to go out there with some gum and got their ass caned?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
that's the
remember
type of shit. That's the idiotic shit that Americans do. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, it just it was interesting to hear Glasses say that because I'm like, damn, I never thought about it that way. Everybody else's culture came from somewhere else but ours. Ours was stripped from us, and we had to build it from the ground up, and we built it here.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, I say I was never referring to the black community. I was
No,
referring
I
to
know.
America in general. But I know you're speaking to the conversation. And there's other people who say that because they say black culture is trash. Or they always target black. That's one of the very problems I always have. Black people this, black.
But
If you look
if
at
you go
white, you're
around the
going to see
world,
the same damn thing.
if you go
Or you
around the
see
world,
where
they
it
say
came
American
from.
culture stripped. My bad.
Right. Like they say, well, Maria in front of a Mexican can be in front of Home Depot. And that's a damn lie. They're bopping each other with Corona bottles and cussing each out in English, Spanish, and Yugoslavian. Go ask the police officer, what race is domestic violence? Is it all black? No. But truth is, Cain killed Abel. That happened a long time ago.
Maybe.
If y'all, I believe Cain was black.
Maybe.
Even before the white community
What they told
existed,
us, maybe.
which whatever. I'm not going to get on spiritual argument, but just the reference points. Adam and Eve were a certain color, and they didn't act right. So that came before the very white community that everybody following. Sin, evil, and wicked craziness has always been here, and it's not going nowhere. So when we try to hold these standards, part of the holding from the standard is not really me coming to Tommy B, somebody I'm cool with, say, hey, bro, I heard you was having a problem with this. Let me introduce you to my homeboys. We're going to show you how to get this right. I heard you got a drinking or you got a POR and addiction because it's not good for this. It's not genuine. It's really, Tommy B, I don't like what you're doing because I just don't freaking like it. Or these women twerking in the streets. I want to stick my meat in half of them, but they won't give me no booty, so I'm going to get up and start shaming them. You don't care about these people, and it's not really about correcting the behavior. It's just, man, I don't like what you're doing. Then I go home and snort cocaine. That's what this is.
Damn.
Then Burger Biscuit Tony goes and eats himself into a coma and got an oxygen tank next to him. Then his wife goes and beats the kids senseless. They got whelps and bruises on their eye sockets. That's what a lot of this really is. And then the police officer comes and to arrest him, and he cheated on his taxes last week. That's what I see going on.
Basically, you're saying there is no social morality in actual substantiality or substantiality for there to even apply a measurement to. And we're talking about going back as far as, you know what I'm saying, Adam and Eve. It's like, all right, then look.
But do y'all remember what happened with COVID when they said Americans couldn't travel? Now let's get this understood. Who travels? People with money, right? Okay. And of that, it's mainly white folks, right? Yeah. But mainly, and we're gonna say most of the people that travel is probably white folks, not black folks, right? That's traveling abroad. Do y'all remember the reaction to people out in outside countries when Americans couldn't travel there anymore? They were fucking celebrating. They were celebrating, and they were literally telling stories of what these dumbass American tourists come over to our countries and do.
That goes two ways. That goes two ways, but go ahead.
It's just like Patrice O'Neal said. The Los Angeles Lakers are the world champs, or the Mets are the world champs. Who do they play worldwide? No one. It's just national. That perspective of
that's
ego,
the arrogance.
And okay, you say it's arrogance. I think it's pilgrimage. That's how these pilgrims motherfucking think. Yeah. Everything about them got to be number one. That's why whenever something happened with black people that looks good to us as a culture, here they are coming up, wagging a finger. The thing is, we've been being around them. We've adopted those styles and that perspective of being. You don't know this until you leave America.
I got some pushback on that though.
Do we really want to be number one?
That implies that white people are the standard when you say that. Do you understand how?
They are the standard.
They are. Who do you listen?
They don't have standard.
Where black people get it from?
Our whole life, who the fuck have our parents wanted us to act right in front of?
Mm-hmm.
Your cousins and aunties.
No, Coach Ferg. No,
well, I didn't come from that type of
white folks.
I didn't come.
I was never taught that.
Well, that's like my parents.
I never heard that till I was grown.
Hold on, Scam. Raise your hand on this panel right now if you ever heard your parent, grandmama, granddaddy say, "Don't act no fool in front of them white folks."
All the time.
What? That's the norm?
Yes.
Shit.
Oh,
yes.
What?
Yep.
Scam, how old are you?
I grew up in a black community in the West.
How old are you?
44.
That's why.
Wait, I'm 46. I'm
Oh,
46.
it was only when you 40.
I'm 46 and I heard it.
I'm
What you talking
42,
about?
lost. Shit.
I heard it. Sure.
And even if I did hear it,
2 years
even
ago.
as a kid, I'm like, who them is?
Missed about
But
2 years,
that's
man.
the thing. They never tell you. They never tell you who they are. They never tell you why we should be beholden to their style of living or life or whatever like that. It's
No, I'm
just
saying, why are y'all accepting that? Even
you-
if it's
because-
normal.
It's not
because-
accepting, it's
because-
what it is.
because
you're told by a
Let me give you another
parent
example, Scam. And
or a
we all
guardian.
Hell with them parents. They
Y'all
was
remember-
wrong.
Do y'all remember when wearing your hat
You
backwards
must
was
think
a
your
bad
ass.
thing?
That's unacceptable.
Okay, hold on.
Stop glorifying
When- hold on,
abusing
I'm just
kids.
saying, man.
When did wearing your hat
This
backwards
ain't cool
become,
Talking back too much,
hold on.
man.
When did wearing your hat backwards become cool? When white folks started doing it.
When we was on, hold up, man. Come on, man.
I don't know, man.
Okay,
No,
Coach
okay,
Ferg,
hold
this
on.
is no,
Never-
this is what I'm saying, Coach Ferg. When
Go ahead.
we originally started wearing when wearing your hat backwards was only a black thing.
It
I
was
don't know
cool.
if y'all remember.
It was okay.
No, it was okay.
For
amongst
us, it was okay.
Okay, what I'm
amongst
saying,
us.
what
That's
I'm
all
saying
that
is,
counts to me.
what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is, it was looked down upon
Right.
with them. It was that hippity hop and da da da. The moment that they started doing it and they incorporated it was all good.
Vanilla ice.
The math ain't adding up.
Yes, it
If
is.
the white people are the standard, then how you gonna complain about anything they doing because they the standard? Just don't make sense.
No. But the thing
What
is,
you
you
saying, that was a
you
cultural
can actually reset
appropriation.
a standard. The issue is that black people won't become their own standard. They'll fall into whatever white America says to fall in.
White
as
people
the
don't have no standards. I don't know, man. I'm more
No,
lost.
no, Scam. It's the false
So
standards that they
weak-minded
present.
now.
So they present to us that they're one way, but we know that behind it, you know what it kind of reminds me of.
I mean, I'm just
is-
not accepting any of it. I'm not. But go
No, I
ahead.
understand. Look, I don't necessarily accept it. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But what I'm saying is that's what we were raised on, and I'm talking about especially the older blacks.
Yep.
That's especially what they push. When we like my parents wasn't not so much with that. My grandparents was 100% with that. Don't
I
you
could-
not in front of these white folks.
I can actually understand if you're talking about your grandparents,
Yeah.
or if they grew up in the South and all that kind of stuff, like black man from Louisiana. But my parents are from the North, and even now, just me. Thank God I wasn't taught that junk. I can't accept it. I just can't.
Well, it's not about you accepting it. The thing is, okay, so let's like you say the grandparents, right? The grandparents were the one that outright said it, and then the next children would probably be the what I'm saying, baby boomers or whatever. They the ones that embodied it. They might not have said it. They might not have pointed out these pilgrims as being the measurement, whatever. But it was easy to see in how they adjusted and how they tailored their responses, particularly the pilgrims in ways that they didn't the black people.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Remember, hold on a second. Remember when Chris Rock was giving his show, and he told at the end of the show, he was like, "There's one thing that Will Smith forgot: never slap your brother in front of white folks." And that was his punchline to the end of his show. So it was said. So just because it didn't happen to you,
Even you know
or
what?
you didn't,
Chris
I
Rock.
mean, it wasn't a standard back
I'll
then.
give you another
Even
perfect
Craig, he
example.
gonna keep saying the N word, knowing he got white people in his audience.
So
Just
let
saying.
me ask you this question, Scan. Who made suits the standard of business?
Don't
That's
know.
not our natural clothing.
No, it's not. White folks.
Pilgrims.
But we,
Tom,
The standard.
don't make me pull up that
but
documentary.
we evolved
How
as
to
a
sell to
people.
Negro.
Come
how
on,
to
man.
sell to a Negro.
But fellas, come on, man. Y'all dismiss
Okay, no, Tommy, I can accept bits
Is
and
a
pieces.
suit evolution?
No, I can accept bits and pieces because here's the thing: bench pressing 225 is going to get you drafted faster in the combine. You're going to do it. You can say, but a white man did it first.
Yeah.
No, hey, it's going to get me what I get.
That's a false equivalent.
No,
man.
we're talking about
No, here's my truth. I look good in the
who
suit.
made
I don't
suits.
care.
Man,
If
stop it.
I don't care who made it. I look good in the suit.
false
But Scam, all I'm saying, what
But I
I'm saying
understand what you're
is,
saying partially.
I'm answering your question of the standard. What I'm saying is that's a standard that's set. If you're in these situations, look, if I'm doing business, it shouldn't matter what the fuck I have on. But a standard, they got on Barack Obama for wearing a tan suit, dog. Who set the standard that you supposed to be wearing a dark suit as a president?
Pilgrim.
White.
But who came down on him because he wore a tan suit?
Pilgrims.
The white folks.
Confirmed. You really
on,
don't
man.
remember Suegate?
Listen, man. Listen. There's no way. Listen.
I don't remember,
We
but
have
I can
evolved.
honor part of what you're saying.
Ancestors were
In
10
a
steps
different way,
ahead
but
of us, man.
I can honor what you're saying.
Backwards today. We are running this race from the losing point of view.
No,
Our
it's not a
ancestors
losing
came
point.
from nothing, and they built and they created. They did it. They were setting the standard, and when they saw us setting the standard, oh no, we can't let the world see them setting the standard. Everything that they got from us, they twisted it around, and then they threw it back up at us. They made it vomit and said, "Here, eat it." And guess what? People still found a way out of that.
You got to work twice as hard.
Yeah,
You got to work
so
twice.
yes, we
You
do.
got to work
But
twice
let's-
as hard to get
Yes, we
half
do.
of what they got. So
So
who's the measurement in that? You got to work twice as hard to get half of what they got.
I'm gonna work
Why
as hard
is
as
what they have the measurement of what
It's
to
not.
have?
It's
No.
not the measurement.
I'm not saying no.
Can we get that? Can we get this out first, Rogish?
I was taught the opposite.
We just said our parents said, "Don't act a fool in front of the white folks." You, Rogish, you just said again. You just quoted another thing that I've heard as a child again.
Yes.
Right. So can you repeat that?
You got to work twice as hard to get half of what they got.
Okay. Now hold on. Stop.
I wasn't taught
My
that bullshit.
grandfather-
Oh, it don't matter. Hold up. Let him finish.
Let me add this one, then y'all can have it. My grandfather told me, son, you can work as long as you want to with them white folks. He said, I'll never pay you enough to be their neighbor.
Was it true?
I used to hear that shit.
But again,
Was it true?
My neighbors are white. What are we talking about? Was it true?
Yes.
Oh, man,
nobody
you one of
black
these
ever
cats?
gave us-
They're white. They live right there. What are we?
Yeah,
what,
man. Rogish,
what are we talking
welcome to the
about?
club, man.
Oh, you one
Welcome
of
to the
these
club,
cats.
Rogish.
All right, Tom.
I'm trying to understand because listen, yes, we've
It
been
don't matter
oppressed.
what you say, it's gonna be the contrary.
So
That's
white
the
people,
key
I'm
thing.
telling you,
White
man.
folks set the standard, even with the suits. Who? And I don't know who. It was you, Lost, that brought that up.
Yeah.
The suits, they made suits proper. Oh, that was Tommy. They made suits proper and said, if you don't have a fucking suit on, you're not a decent human being. You got to have a fucking suit on. When you walk into a place, you have a fucking suit on, right? Who made that? Because I know one goddamn thing. When they put them niggas on that boat and brought them over here, none of them had on suits. They had on their native clothes, but they ain't having no goddamn suits and no ties with no fucking Stacey Adams. And that's why I think people should go watch the documentary How to Sell to a Negro. They
Yes.
took everything the white folks had and they multiplied it and put it in the stores for niggas to feel like white folks. They will go buy the shit.
But BMU, we can't
What y'all are telling me is y'all bought into it.
no,
Anybody bought into nothing, man.
no, but BMU, we can't discredit.
You can't shame nobody for their experience either. Now
No,
calm down.
it's not that. But
No,
when
that's
you're
exactly
pushing it
what you're
and pushing it,
doing.
That means you're buying in.
No, it don't
Throw
matter
it
what
away.
you buying. Listen, if somebody tells you their story and you turn around and tell them that's what you buying in, you being condescending.
That's not
Don't
what I'm
do
saying.
that. Don't do that, man.
That's not
do
what I'm
that.
saying.
But we
Is if
had
you're
this-
trying to keep pushing it, yeah, okay, I get it.
Oh, my
Was
bad.
taught, was told. But when does it come a point where like, hey man, that was some bullshit? And I don't stand for what I don't
Well,
rock
you can't
with,
do
not
nothing
even-
about was bullshit, now can you?
Okay, so y'all are keeping it at it was bullshit.
No, we just telling you that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all only saying that. Y'all only saying that it happened.
What you're trying to do? Listen, no.
Take into
Listen, what you're trying to do is you're trying to reach back into the past and tell people what they shouldn't have done. That'll be like reaching back in the past and telling slaves you shouldn't have been a slave.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm asking.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're only saying about that it was and that it happened. That's all you're saying.
That's all
we're saying. That was the standard. You the main one is saying that there was no standard. When you hear you have to work twice as hard or 3 times as hard to get half of what they get, what automatically presents itself as the standard by default? We're talking about project of elimination. That makes whatever it has the most, or whatever you declaring it is that one should actually have an intention to have. That's the standard. My question that I was always asking: do we need what they have?
That's a better question.
Okay. Do we need what they have? If what they have something that's going to solve our problems? Is it something to where we just wish to be more, close to them or adjacent to them? Because as a child, I saw it from the age of a child. The reason why black people had a problem with connecting with black people is they were too busy trying to be a motherfucking American, whatever that was defined as. And it seemed like it was something that was more associated with these pilgrims and pilgrim standards and Pleasant motherfucking Ville.
Okay, let me tell you something, Rogan.
But what are the black standards?
I go back to Louisiana.
Ain't got none either.
I go back to Louisiana to homecoming to my high school, and you go to the game, and I'm gonna go to homecoming this year, and I'm gonna take a picture of the stadium. All the white folks still sit on one side, all the niggas still sit on the other one. They don't sit together ever. Ever. All the black people on one fucking side on the left.
Yeah.
All the white, they got a gate splitting that shit.
Damn.
And all the white people on the other side, and it's 2025.
It's a gate split.
But again, since we modern again, because we discredit those before us, because we got to remember, we had already set the standard of what business is in our own communities, and they destroyed it and saying you niggas is gonna shop with us. Right. Ever since they gave us welfare, we've been running behind the 8 ball ever since. Our ancestors had already set the standard to the world. And this is what I'm saying, that everything that they got about
who makes the dashiki gay in the suit proper?
But again,
I'm asking.
Brothers were making suits. That's what I'm saying.
We was making suits now.
You just acclimated yourself to the culture that's already standard.
But what I'm saying is, I'd rather see a brother in a suit than a nigga run up on me sagging his pants with his yesterday's clothes on, talking about I'm going to do some business.
And you're making our exact point.
You're making our exact point.
If you're 35, you still sagging, yeah.
Okay, no, it's 34 in 6 months. What are we talking about?
I remember hearing the old people say, hey, when boys walk around with their pants sagging, if you're sagging, spell sagging backwards, it's niggas. Right? So watch this. Spell sagging backwards is niggas. That's what they should tell us. But my thing is, Coach Berg, somebody said it earlier, I don't remember. I'm getting old. Every fucking thing that black people do is garbage. Until the white folks put their hands on it.
Who says it's garbage, though? Hold on. Who says it's garbage?
The ruling society.
Do black people say it's garbage?
Well, then again, if I get on the elevator with my pants sagging, if I get on the elevator with my pants sagging, and I come on the elevator,
let me give examples.
What's up, mama? To the white girl in there, I'm not proper. But if a white boy turn his hat backwards and start sagging and they make it a
thing, say about the low level.
Hold on.
No. I'm gonna give you an example. Mark Wahlberg sag right now.
You can't get away with that. I can tell you how I grew up and how I was ridiculed. I got ridiculed because I had braids. Facts.
By who?
Black people.
By black people. Exactly. By black people.
What I'm saying is, if I cut my hair like the white folks, accept it.
Yep, exactly.
Hold on. Let me go from what you just said. There is more people in suits stealing from motherfuckers than that sagging their pants.
Come on, Tommy!
No. But the sag is so drunk.
Hold on, Tommy B. Hold on, Tommy B.
The saggers was turning out y'all.
Tommy B.
First of all, hold on, wait a minute. Because I'm saying this
I agree.
No, because let me cook that. Let me cook that bullshit.
Go ahead and cook it. I'm going to throw some more bullshit in.
Sagging ain't had nothing to do with that shit. No, your generation. Your generation again tried to push that bullshit to shame people from doing it. It had nothing to do with that shit.
But
What it
men
had to
standards
do,
that we had
was when they went to the pen, they gave them pens that was too big. And
so they brought it back out to the culture. Okay.
Yes, they did. Absolutely.
Okay, so
your line ass generation did was came up with this fake ass story about how gay dudes in the prison did that shit. It had nothing to do with that.
Crack was going down in history.
Hey, Tommy B.
Another thing they do. Hold on. Another thing they do. The way we talk, it's talked down upon. Even though white folks make up new words every fucking day, whenever a black person does, it's ebonics, it's ignorant, etc., etc.
So what are we going to do?
White is the standard.
So what did
you don't, Coach Spurs. Don't try to run.
That new word,
the young people, it's going to be woe is me. I want welfare.
Hey, Coach, sound like y'all prime candidates to become some motherfucking supremacists. Maybe you need to learn how to actually become your own goddamn measurement and leave America out of it, leave these pilgrims out of it, and only that which is the quality that you know that you can exacerbate within your people. Yeah, I know you don't want. I know you don't want to be a black supremacist. I know you don't with them pectorals living beside you. You know what I'm saying? Sharing gates and shit with pectorals.
Here's the funny part, right? Here's the funny part. They'll tell you when you talk in slang, you're not speaking proper English when the white folks over here ain't speaking proper English.
Exactly. And they want to talk slang. And they want to say nigga more than you with the soft A.
Hold on.
When you speak proper English, they call you a coon and a sellout. I'm just saying.
They who?
I thought I throw that in there.
They
who? Ain't no standard.
They who? They who? Wait. They who call you a coon and a sellout?
The younger brothers English is spoken allowing them to call them that word. It became, why you get mad when they call us that? They more accepted. You couldn't call none of us none of that because we'd have slapped you red and green at the same time before you get the N-word out. Now,
then went and did some stupid shit 20 minutes later.
You want to go be around no brothers and
sisters. Did you see the interview with Lionel Richie? Did you see the interview with Lionel Richie talking about his daddy? Lionel Richie said two white men. When he was little, he ran to the water fountain. He said white water fountain, black water fountain. He said he walked to the white one and drank out of it. He walked back. He says daddy was military. Big old cocky man could beat the shit out of the white boy. Said the white boy ran up on his daddy, going off on his daddy about why the fuck is your son drinking out of our fucking water fountain? He said he knew in his head, man, my daddy finna beat the shit out them white boys. And he said his daddy knew nothing. Say they punked him bad, and he walked off. And he said years later, when he got old enough to ask him, he said, Daddy, why the fuck did you let them white boys do that when you could have beat their ass? He said, I had to make a choice, son. If I fought them, they probably would have killed me. He said, I had to make a choice of being a man or a father, and I chose to be a father.
Man, not. Shout out to Tommy Curry. Dr. Tommy Curry.
You see what I'm saying?
And for that time, you know what I'm saying? For that time, think about the millions of brothers and sisters that endured that same type of energy from them, right? And they did what they had to do to make it home to their families. And some of them, some brothers was like, hell with it. I'm Nat Turner on these. I'm going in. This is my last day. But what they did not do is give up. What they did not do is say, man, they got our foot on us, our neck so tough that we ain't even gonna fight no more. No, what I'm trying to say is when you come to that age of realization that you realize your life been fucked up, whether it's with your family and other people, you have to make a decision to move a little different. You have to. Because guess who gonna shame you? The niggas gonna shame you. They gonna call you broke. They gonna tell you ain't shit. It ain't gonna be no white folk. The white folk just gonna lock you out. They just ain't gonna hire you. But the same black man ain't gonna hire you either. He just gonna tell you you can never look at it like it's the end.
But not that's the whole thing. It's the reason of why the niggas shame you.
Different levels of life. It don't always come in early.
It's not true.
Why do niggas shame you? Why do niggas shame you?
They shame you because you don't do what they want you to do.
No, they shame you because the standards that they are holding you to
then 20 minutes later, they do the same thing the white man is doing.
But the fact that they doing it is bad. That's the
problem. What it is the catalyst that caused them to view you at such a social value. When we're talking about standard, when we're talking about moral standard, social standard, what is the reason for having a so-called quality moral, or social standard. You want a particular result
That's a
of
lie.
character development, do you not?
But it's a lie, and you think people don't know it.
So wait a minute. It's a perfect example in the chat because you want my attention. You got it, nigga. So black men be a father and sag your pants or your booty cheeks and hang out. So let's touch on that, right?
We got
Why
one.
is that? Why is that looked down upon? Because white folks told us how to wear our pants. Guess how they? Guess. Wait a minute. Let me continue. Why can't the women walk around with their titties out like they do in Africa? Because creepy ass white folks who always think about sex, said, oh, hey, you can't do that. You got to cover it up because my dick could get hard if I see that. But meanwhile, they live in Africa and do that perfectly fine and ain't nobody tripping because that's the standard they set over here because they can't control themselves. So when you see somebody sagging their pants, the reason that's going in your head is because of the standard that they set over here. Period,
Tommy,
point blank.
Tommy, hold on, Tommy.
But they don't buy that standard.
I'm gonna do a pause before I see it.
Standard.
I was watching the same shit you was watching, the African shit where the women walk around butt ass naked, titties out. The dudes over there, they were talking about the physique of Africans in those villages. Ain't no African dude. The man was saying over there when they have the stereotype that men's dicks, black men's dicks are bigger than all the men's dicks on the planet, right? He said the reason for that in Africa, right? Ain't nobody. This is a white man talking now. The reason for that in Africa, the reason that ain't no man in those villages got a dick less than 12 inches over there is because they don't wear underwear and gravity pulls the penis down where it's not cuffed up. So when you come to America and they say put these Fruit of the Looms on, I'm just saying they're really fucking with your nature as a man.
So because he was white, it was true. Doesn't that sound like some bullshit that he said?
No,
It don't sound like no bullshit.
Them dudes over there are walking around with their dicks out, and they have to pick them up to walk across the water because people think it's an oar. The reason for that is because it's science, nigga. Gravity. Look, Google it.
Gravity.
Look, scam. All I'm saying.
You're gonna have a whole bunch of guys right now taking
Google don't have no standard.
naked in the house now, man.
What I'm saying is in our culture right now.
Let me take my passport.
I'll give y'all another example. I'll never forget this. I was in elementary school. We had a chick that came over here. I believe she was from like Italy or something. She had a regular magazine from Italy, and the people in there were topless. It was just a regular magazine, not a nasty one, a regular magazine. Mm-hmm. The freaky ass dudes that came over here made it that standard that every time you see a titty, boom. That wasn't a custom in certain places. You're like the first thing on your head when you seen a part of a female human body wasn't, oh, I gotta go poke her. That's how we live now because that's the standard they set here in America, and of course the Western world. But it's a reason why when you go to Africa, the chicks are walking around there, chest out, and people aren't, oh, I can't control myself, I got a jumper.
My main point with the no standard thing is the very dudes who supposedly set the standard, 50% of them go do something else that's crazy, or they ain't really what they say they're about. Then it ain't the standard, then it is the standard, then it ain't, it's all over the place. With the very suits, as black people, like me personally, I look good in a suit. I don't care if the white, Ethiopian, Italian, I don't care. So if they said, that ain't the standard no more, public service announcement, I'm keeping my suits. I look good in them. That's just me.
Yeah, but it's niggas out
there. But it doesn't mean
girl some jeans and some flip-flops on.
Say what?
It's some niggas out there that's got flip-flops, white beaters, and jeans on sagging.
Yeah, that's me. That's me right there.
But
then when I take my shirt off, it's over.
I'm not saying that oh, you shouldn't wear. What I'm saying is,
no, I'm just saying.
But listen,
I get what you're saying about
the mentality of what Coach Ferg literally just said. I will trust a man in a suit before I trust a man that wear their pants a certain way.
Oh, I get what you said, and the people with the suits are stealing more money. You're right.
Thank you. But
I'm a vet them the same though. So, yeah.
No, but Tommy, my point is that everybody out of control. The dude with the suit out of control, shaming the dude with the pants. The one with the pants stole his wallet last week. He out of control. And the standard that they're saying, well, it's the white man. The white man stole both their money, and then he beat his wife, and his wife shot the dog. Everybody out of control doing what they want to do. That's my whole point about the standards. And can't anybody disagree with that?
Okay, wait.
What's your thoughts, Beans, on what you heard so far?
First of all, how much the boot Tommy? I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I just was telling somebody this a few minutes ago on another panel. I don't own one suit. Right? You know what I'm saying? I have 0 suits, 0 ties. I have none of that. Can I trust? Do I trust the guy in the suit more than I'll trust, let's say, the thug dress guy? And I don't mean like a hoodie and jeans. I mean like we know what the thug look is. It's a certain way that you present. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different. You know, I feel like if I was outside and I was walking down the street and I saw any one of the guys up here, I probably wouldn't feel any kind of way about it.
You talking about niggas some Air Maxes or something? What you mean, cuz?
That's what I'm saying. It's not what you wear, it's how you present it. You know,
okay.
You can have on some Air Maxes with some with some Under Armour shorts and one of those wiki shirts on, and you can have some earbuds and you can be jogging, you know, and I'm not gonna feel any kind of way about that.
That's what you told me, I think.
Shout out to the joggers.
But you can also have on some Air Max, and you can have on some denim jeans, some damaged jeans, hanging off your ass with a Jim Jones. How do you describe it? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's 2025. We supposed to say
y'all remember damage?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 pairs of damage.
They switched it from damage.
That was a local thing in Virginia.
I want to make some glory help.
Yeah, but now you can have on some what I call damaged, because that's what them bitches is. You're tearing holes and shit out the front, your thigh meat showing and shit. You can have that shit on with a Jim Jones belt with it hanging off your ass, and I can see what kind of drawers you got on. You know what I'm saying? With a t-shirt and some jewelry, and be standing there rolling the blunt with a hat cocked all the way back. Yeah, I'm looking at you differently. You know,
but see, that's cliche, man. That's cliche.
Well, I mean, it may be, but it's better to be safe than sorry. But I will say this to the Lionel Richie story. If what he should have did was been like, hey man, y'all whoop his ass, get out of my face. He was the one drinking out the fountain, not me.
No,
kick his little ass and teach him hey man, listen, F them kids.
You got a child. You got a child.
They gotta learn, man. They gotta learn their own lessons. We not here to learn their lessons for them, okay?
Man.
He could read. He knew damn well that shit said white on it.
No, man, I don't want to hear y'all crying no more. No, hell no.
Go ahead, son. You said that, son. You said that was what you said, it was cliche or something?
Yeah, right up there with them whites only pies. You know what I'm saying?
How much is it gonna take? Turn the white only pies.
The thing is, what you describe as far as the thug, that's like the Hollywood thug. Cause the thing is it's just as Tommy B said. The most thuggish motherfuckers you finna meet is in suits. If you ever kicked it with white collar after the office closed, everybody drinking and everybody snoring coke. Okay,
and stealing money,
and stealing money and making big money too. You don't get no more. You know what I'm saying? Super thuggish than that.
Okay, that's fine, right? You're saying thug. I'm saying gonna rob you, shoot you, or beat your ass, right?
That's a fucking menace to society, nigga.
We can pull up the video. Here's the thing. I shouldn't say this because I just lost $4 on the bet. But put your money where your mouth is. We can pull up the videos right now. I guarantee you all the shit we see with people fighting, robbing, and thugging in the streets, I guarantee they ain't got no suits on. How much you want to bet?
Now I'm gonna go down scam likely roll real quick. If a thug come up right now and shoot your ass, then you know your life is gone. There's not really any investment they're gonna get unless you have life insurance, which the life insurance policies of black people at 3%. Or be smart like the white folks. Change the food, add chemicals to the food, make everybody obese, everybody get fat. Over years, they get you into pharmaceuticals, they get you at the doctor's office, they get you at your job, and then they just slow fuck you until you die of a heart attack or a stroke, and then they made $4 million off your ass.
Those are not my words, but
no. I said no. I didn't say your words. I said go down your lane as far as the health part of it.
But that's inevitably what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make the
That's
money off of
inevitably
it.
what's
Oh, I
gonna
think you
happen.
should take this medicine. I think your kid should be on Ritalin.
Yep.
You'll put your kid on Ritalin. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Well,
hey, won't you take
I
the
just
stool
don't like.
softener?
I don't have
and
this.
then you can take the psychotropic, and then you can take all this shit.
Come
Yeah. Go
on,
ahead.
man.
No, I'm not going to buy into the narrative.
Scam
All
action.
white people wicked, controlling everything, and all black people sitting and doing the best that they
No,
can.
and nobody said that.
That's not what we're saying, Scam.
No, I'm just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah.
And
Why?
the
Because you think
first
some
time I knew
Peckerwoods might be
Ritalin,
listening or some
it was
shit? Why you
white
want to
kids.
put? Why you want to put that in there?
Let me give you Scam. The
they
opioid
got these
epidemic.
narratives, man.
That wasn't niggas. And it
Come on, Tommy.
that wasn't
Talk
niggas in
now.
jeans.
Come on,
Say it again. I missed that.
The opioid epidemic.
white
Who
folks,
does more drugs, white or black
Hold
people?
on.
white.
Yes,
There you
the
go.
opioids.
But hold on. But when the black folks did the crack era with three strike rule, throw them niggas in jail. When the white folks went through it, it's a sickness.
That's probably true. But
Yes.
all I'm saying is,
Don't put
don't,
them in
it's
jail.
not white up here, black down here.
It is.
It's more some of.
You from America?
Absolutely.
But hold up. In our lifetime, haven't most of us known that those are the trick bags in America that we have to avoid? Don't tell me y'all didn't know nothing about this before y'all came.
Oh,
here, right?
absolutely. The red
And
line.
what is it? Wait, what is a trick bag again?
The trick bags that
Bag
we
with
that we
tricks
have
in
to
it.
go up against, right? You know, the pipeline to prison, the 3-strike rule, but what I'm
let me-
saying, we all know, right? We
Well,
in
let's be honest with
today's
you, Bert.
I was just trying to balance it out.
So let me
It's
be
not
honest with you,
this.
Bert. A
It's
lot
this.
of this stuff,
It ain't that
I don't think I'm be honest with you. A lot of this stuff, like my dad told me little stuff, and that was more what he was going through when he grew up. So for me, it was
Right.
like, okay, but what I'm saying is when I grew up and I got older and I was able to access information, then I saw what happened to my generation. See, when I was in the middle of it, I didn't see it.
right.
When I
You're
got-
right, Tommy.
So
And
so-
now everybody's on the other. A lot of us on YouTube are on the other side of the bullshit.
absolutely, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, when you realize that in your life, right, and this is where the younger people can jumpstart 10 times amongst us slow ass people, because we got it late.
yeah,
But we got the information, and we can share it to those who don't know what it's really like, who are listening to people tell them, your life ain't gonna be shit, right? No, they gotta have a chance too. Only thing I'm saying is when you come into a space in life and you realize I done wasted time, I done did everything backwards. I want something different. You have to make a stance. If not, listen, you niggas in y'all 40s, y'all asses aging out too in the work market. So if you ain't got no years in, when you go get your Social Security, they're gonna be like, you get $15. Oh, you had 2 kids, we want 12 of that. So now you
niggas
walking
gonna be
around.
here, coach.
Hold up.
Social
But what
Security
I'm
done,
saying is,
cuz.
now is the
that's
time
over.
to sort of find a way. Now is the time, brothers. We've been through subjugated. We saw what our grandparents and that we ain't went through none of that. We've been going to the park and jamming our boom box since the 70s. What I'm saying is this: any brother that want an opportunity, now is your time. Don't come back to this shit 10 years from now talking about, oh, they kept me down. No, the opportunity is going to be there for you. And if it's not, kick the damn door in, because we were scared to kick it in. Go kick it in.
Opportunity
I
to
think
what?
it was also-
Upon the whole,
Hey,
this
Bing,
hyper
Bing, I got a question
individualistic
for you.
aspect of this. All this hyper individualism
Or leave
that I'm
America
hearing. When
and
you're
take all your
interacting with
resources.
other people who are actually
other
part
leaders.
of complete solidified cultures, solidified cultural identities, solidified cultural
they're not.
standards, if you will. Yeah,
Yes,
they
they are.
are. In,
They're out of control.
in comparison to black people. In comparison to black people, you could say they're a little bit more solidified than what we
Yes.
are. So
they're pretty garbage.
but I
That's
noticed that's
why
what
that is,
most
though.
black people do. Most black people speak upon this from their individualized perspective, and it's just like Claude Anderson said with Powernomics. This is a team sport. There is no individualism with this.
Well, all
Even though
brothers
you might,
under
you,
50
I'm
show
here
up
for
at the
individualism.
schools next school year.
I ain't on this
Everybody
team.
show up at the schools. Go show the kids that y'all support them. Go show them high school seniors that they can have other avenues outside of going to regular college, going to military. Go show them behind this so they can have an opportunity to change the dynamic.
and what is
We
the
all
culture that
really
they're going to
think
see
so.
that they can be
Okay,
a part of,
Bing,
where that can
two
flourish,
questions.
being of that dynamic?
Wait, it's not
nobody-
about showing them though. Wait, it's not about showing them though, right? I think this is one of the problems because we I think we need to start demanding. Like,
No.
I don't know why we
From
think
who?
18
He
years
said the man. I said
From
Trump.
who?
He said the man.
we treat our kids like 18, you grown. That shit got to stop, in my opinion, to be honest with you.
Black people
They
ain't
ain't
stopping
smart
that because
enough.
these Pecker
They
Woods
not
told
as
niggas
smart
to
as
do
we
that
think
shit.
they are, right? But I want to make sure I say this before I forget it, because you said trick bag, and I could be wrong. That's why I asked you what is that. Because when I hear the term and use the term trick bag, I'm hearing and using it in the same way as damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's how I hear trick bags. Like when it say women got men in the trick bag, it's like no matter what you do, they're gonna find something to complain about. They're gonna find some reason to be bitching and moaning and this and that. So the thing about being in a trick bag, if you are willing to accept that black men more specifically are in this trick bag, is that somehow, some way it ain't gonna work out for you. That's how it's designed, right? It's designed because here's the thing, it may even make sense a little bit. If everybody had money, money wouldn't have no value. So everybody can't have money. So it's that simple, right?
Really? Wait, no. If everybody had this, this current style of fucking currency, well, you could say that's the case, especially if it's built off of motherfucking debt. But there is nothing wrong with people having a sufficient amount of being able to procure what it is that they need. That's only here in this old greed feeding fucking ass society.
Right, but see, now you're saying it's a sufficient amount, right? So you kind of, I'm not gonna say you've been disingenuous, but you taking it somewhere where it can't go because we are here, right? We are here where we deal with dollars and coins and shit, right? So what I'm saying is right now, whatever you think a bunch of money is, 60K, 100K, 200K, 500K, a million, if everybody had that, it wouldn't be worth that, right? The thing that I bring up is there was a time when the rent was 18% of people's income. That was 1934. Today it's 36% of your income. If we averaged 100K right now, rent would be 56% of your income. Keeping up with the trend of inflation, right? So it ain't about getting more money because the system isn't designed for everybody, or at least the majority of people, to have a whole bunch of money because it wouldn't be worth as much.
So that means that you're not supposed to be seeing money as your value standard. This is exactly come back to exactly what we're talking about in the whole point of this. There is no standard, not just standard in the black community, but the whole element of a standard period. The current standard is not a healthy one. Let's say that black people don't, let's say that we don't have a cultural standard.
What is the current standard? What is it?
The current standard is Americanism. That's the current fucking standard. That's what everybody continue to present. A way of you interacting with the opportunities, as opposed to understanding that, look, even that's shaved down. I mean,
that means it's no standard. That means it's fake.
No, the standard has always been profit, and you can't have a communal standing with your standard only being profit. Your standard also has to be the people. The people also have to be included in your value standard of a value. And that's not how it works here. Here, the people are merely fucking personnel, and that's it at the most. Next, consumers.
Right. I'm saying that it means that there are no standards.
Scam. That's the wrong question to ask that statement. The correct statement as a host would be to ask the gentleman, in your eyes, what would be the standard? Well, if you could build wait a minute.
But if it's in his eyes, how can it be a standard?
Wait a minute, Rogish. If you could build a society from scratch, what would you consider to be fair and equitable?
No, that's
not. Wait, yeah.
Standard is
cross. Let me ask that question.
Rogish, I'm gonna let you talk.
The thing is, okay, I'm a Aquarius, right? So I've been, charged with having a view toward a balanced, healthy humanity, across the board. So that's my perspective with things. And I do make note that potentially could be biased because it doesn't take into consideration all of the other factors that could influence, I guess a non-desired perspective of that. I want what's best for everybody simply because whatever's the most healthy, that's what I wish to ride with, right? Whatever is balanced, that's what I wish to ride with. Here in America is different when you're trying to set that perspective, because the value standard isn't based off of people. It's based off of survival. It's based off of keeping your head above water. It's based off of, almost not being knocked down. You know what I'm saying? So it's different here. This is not is, as Krishnamurti said, to be acclimated in loose words, to be acclimated to a sick society is no sign of intelligence, if you will. So the thing is, we have to admit that this society, as is already off kilter for us for first and foremost, before we start deciding what is a quality standard. I can only do that from a black perspective. So if we're talking everybody here in America, I can't include everybody. I can include my people. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And that might be biased. It is what it is. You know, fuck everybody else. They ain't give a fuck about us, whatever. So as far as to go with black people, look, it's easy. If America is showing you that it rather see you in a non-thriving state, that is my standard. My standard is anything that goes against the thriving state is to be the potential thriving state of the people is to be obliterated. Not just, you know what I'm saying, if it's of a different color, if it's of a different culture, religion view, or whatever. Because my people have way too much potential for us not to be thriving within this reality, within this society, yada, 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 right? That's my standard. My standard is thriving. What gets us closer to thriving? And anything below that ain't worth shit.
Okay, let me ask you this. In for your instance, what would it look like for black people to have their own system of doing things outside of what Americans was doing? Paint a picture of what that would look like.
I mean, let's say that we embrace the chilling circuit as opposed to try to go play those Hollywood games with them small hats where you got to sell either your soul, booty hole, firstborn, and all the rest of that, right? We are supposed to be enough for one another. Now, let's say that there's going to be some issue with that due to the traumatic past and you know what I'm saying, the history and all the trauma, all the pain that's associated with that. That still doesn't mean that we don't have that we don't have the value and the onset value that we're supposed to have in order to lift ourselves out of that. So as R. Payne was saying, you know what I'm saying, with the last broadcast, I get where you're talking about. And as far as with Preach, homie, I get what they're talking about, because you don't want to cut yourself off of being able to be able, right? It's never an insurmountable type of odds for us. We always have a way. The thing is, we have to believe in ourselves more than we believe into that which we're trying to attach ourselves to. I think here in the United States of these murder clans, black people done always had some chronic pilgrim acceptance syndrome, you know what I'm saying, behind them, towards where they looking to be accepted or they're looking to be favored, if you will, right? Once you become your own standard, as we did back in the I'm gonna say like early 70s on up toward the late 70s, when we were talking about black, and black had taken on so much of a myriad of meaning just due to how we were enacting ourselves within it. Walk, talk, as brother man said before, Tommy B, it was our talk, right? This the way that we would speak English was scrutinized to the point to where it was declared to be of lower standard. During that time, we didn't give a damn. Let's talk how you talk, walk how you walk, dress how you dress, everything that's natural about you. Let's say that we weren't able to open up our stride in getting an understanding of that new value standard that we were creating for ourselves. All right, we the world's newest people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Fresh out of slavery. What, 160 years? That's nothing. Everybody else then had the entirety of themselves, the entirety of their being, full possession of themselves, their culture, and their agency, the entirety of the time. We talking damn near thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? And we're like maybe 200 years fresh. All right, then it is what it is. The thing is, we must become our own standard based off of what is healthy for us. When we're talking society in all 9 areas of human activity, as Neely Fuller Jr. said, right? All areas of human activity. The thing is, these pilgrims, Pleasantville and America, we've largely been trying to live up to that type of a standard and be the best type of version of that we can be in order to, gain whatever it is that black people was looking for.
Appreciate it. Scam, did you have a follow-up question?
It sounded like you asked him what was his dream, as if you turned him into God instead of what is his standard. Standard means people buy into it and multiple people are doing it. So if he says, I want this to look like this, and podcast says, nah, then that standard's done in 2 minutes. And the people down the hall say, man, hell, I ain't doing that. Then the other person says, yeah, I'll do it. And then they rob a liquor store. And that's pretty much what's going on.
Rob a liquor store? Are you serious? Why is that always one of the motherfucking lingering avenues for somebody to take, nigga? Rob a liquor store?
Okay. CVS, so that make it better? Soda store. Soda or pop, your choice.
This mother nigga, you need to be on Fox News, cuz, for real.
Yeah. Anyway.
From Rite Aid.
What standards are, especially on YouTube, the dustier you go. And I was going to ask Podcast this question. I know the answer. Podcast, you been on white dust panels before?
Unfortunately, yeah.
They all wear suits and talk like businessmen, correctly? And they love each other, right?
No.
Okay. So people are the white standards, the white people here and we's down. Shit. Going on a white dust panel. Go over there.
I don't have to go over there because there's no standard of mine.
They got it together,
I don't have to use them as no form of measurement. We have nothing to line with
watch what you see. You think this is a white standard?
Do this with the white thing. They don't measure up. They don't. That's a whole reason behind my black supremacy, right? That's a whole reason. A lot of people hear supremacy. A lot of people hear supremacy, and they think that it parallels to what these Peckerwoods been bringing y'all, and they didn't became y'all standard of what a person presenting themselves as supreme is, right? No. With me, they never measured up. As a little child in the early 80s, I saw everybody trying to mimic black people in some form of way, and at the same time trying to say that black people weren't shit. Right? So black people became my standard, right? I didn't have to look for Pleasantville. I didn't have to look for Pleasantville. You're right. When you see the same motherfuckers that tell you ain't nothing attempting to mimic you to the full degree, and we talking worldwide, homie. We're not just talking here in the United States. We talking globally. My people became my standard of what is supreme. So my people became my standard. And the potential that I saw within us, the potential that I saw in us became my motherfucking plight.
Oh, so since black is the standard, everybody, we good. We got it all under control.
No, it's not though we good. Now it's time to execute. First you identify the qualities in yourself. No, you identify the qualities in yourself. You identify the properties of yourself. You identify the potentials of yourself. And then you start enacting for self. Not to be a fucking American. Not to be some qualified American where these white people be like, no, you did a good job at that. Get the fuck out of here, cuz you already said that you adjacent to white people, and so you already, you're going to hold off some form of a black semblance of filtering because I live measure with them motherfuckers.
This is what we're talking about.
I done been around your type before.
I'm gonna go burn his house because he white.
Nobody's saying that. Look at you, Fox News ass nigga. Nobody getting that egregious with it.
I live in this house. A white person lives next door. What's the standard?
You think that it means you gotta hate them? The fact that you up here trying to protect these motherfuckers, just the fact you trying to protect these motherfuckers, show that you already been saturated subconsciously with their standards.
They live there. What is it that you want me to do to meet your standards? I'm not going to do no way.
You can't have this conversation.
I lived here first.
How are you
can't have this conversation?
How is that even possible?
And I'm gonna let you know you can't have this conversation. You be out of pocket.
No, answer the question. I live here.
I got a white
weeks later they moved in. What is it
and then they rob a liquor store. And then they rob a liquor store. And then they put on a shicey mask and they go rob a liquor store.
Nigga, please.
Answer the question.
Damn, I never thought about deep frying bacon.
You live in a city with white people, don't you?
You know what? You gotta start with cutting your grass.
You live in America.
Just cut your grass.
Your type before.
You're aligned with them white people.
Been around your type before, homie. You good.
What are my type of people?
You good. Hey, look, ain't nobody.
The standard is if I don't
ain't nobody hurting your master, homie.
Somebody said
wait,
something's wrong with me.
And then they go rob a liquor store.
Their goal is to find black people to go tear down. That's the goal.
And then they go rob a liquor store.
Blame it on white people.
The problem with what you're doing, Scam, is most people understand that when we're talking about white folks, we aren't talking about like angry snowman in the chat. We're talking about the powers that be. So when you say
that's not the way they phrase it.
When you say have you been on a white dust panel, like, because white folks have set a standard, that doesn't mean that every single white person. The Miami Heat have a standard. That doesn't mean every person on the Miami Heat fits that standard. So to say that they set the standard doesn't mean that every single. I'm pretty sure the meth head in a trailer park isn't meeting the standard that we're talking about. What I'm saying is, generally in America, there is a standard set. Who set that standard? It damn sure wasn't us. So when the conversation was, what is the standard that we're trying to meet, and who set it? And all we said was, that's who set the standard. It's not, okay, they set the standard and that means every single last white person meets that standard. Most of the time when we having conversations like this, when we say white folks, we ain't talking about my white neighbor.
Not all of them. He one of them motherfuckers. Not all of them. I've been hearing that shit since I was fucking 7 years old.
We're not talking about this old lady that lives next door to me. And when we say this, like, I have to explain that to my white friends, but I thought amongst us, we all understood that. So when you're saying this is why the conversation gets hot like that, because we're going, dog. When we say that, you know who we're talking about.
I'm saying they're giving too much value. And even when they always say, well, white people got a standard, and they gotta, and the truth is they ain't following that. They out of control.
Hey, Scam, I'm gonna help you out, man.
You think you are?
Do you have any cash money on you, man? I want you to pull out any one of those dollar bills, paper bills, and you point out to me the black person.
Oh shit! Really?
That's on that money?
Really?
Yeah.
This how far we gotta go to try to.
Too, man. I'm a weapons grade troll.
This how far? No, lost in translation.
It's my turn.
Technically, that's the standard that you're looking for. It's them green dollar bills with the white folks on them. You know what I'm saying?
How can you hear me talk about money lost?
Washington, you can pick. I mean, why you go to work, man?
How often you hear me talk about money?
My thing, why do you go to work, man?
Okay, pick one. Either it's the standard or it's not.
I'm just saying.
Standard, and let's go ahead and rock and do it.
I'm asking you a question. You go to work, right?
One.
You go to work, right? Yes or no?
No, I got fired.
You got fired?
Yeah, because I wasn't black enough.
No, probably because
I beg your pardon.
You probably try to be a troll to your boss.
Lost in translation. Pick one.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure
you're gonna set a standard. Stand on it.
Listen, someday you're gonna wish to get a job, right? And you want them to pay you money, right?
I'm black. I don't need
Bitcoin. I mean, which one you
rob
want?
A liquor store.
Yeah, two of them.
Two of them. Let's say, for instance, you rob a liquor store. What you taking out of that? You taking money or you taking Grey Goose? Which one you taking?
If that's the standard, then stand on it. And what are we having this conversation?
I'm trying to get you some sustenance, man. You trying to get a pimento cheese sandwich to go with your cognac?
Which one is it? If it's gonna be a white standard, then I need y'all to get on that. Get on that standard. Y'all can't say it's a white standard, but then it ain't
alone, man. I'm just saying.
Which one?
You know what? You up here standing there presenting a white standard, talking about that liquor store shit, cuz.
Like people
do that shit all the time.
You fat bald head.
What standard do you think you standing on?
Talking
about
and then I rob a liquor store.
Are you kidding
for
me?
Conduct unbecoming a black man.
You might as well be dipped straight up pilgrim up in this motherfucker, cuz talking like that.
You know what? If that's what you want, cool. I'm white. Does that do it? Now, can you follow my standard?
Ain't nobody said about you being white. I'm just saying you asked what the standard was.
I'm trying to,
the white folks don't run that.
I'm trying to give you the standard you're asking.
I just asked you to pull out your money.
Because I won't do what you want him to do and say what he want to say. I'm
asking this question for years. I've been asking this question for years at this point now, right? Why do we entertain it? Right?
Podcast. Because there was something saying that made sense, and they couldn't take it. So
I don't understand. I'm not even gonna lie.
I won't buy in.
I was looking at this guy fry bacon, and it looked good. But I'm saying, what I do know for sure, though, is that sometimes some people say things, and even when you maybe even mean to be serious, it just come out so trollish. It's like, why entertain it? Move past it, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Because this to me is a very sensitive subject. I'm not even gonna lie. I just got through arguing with a bunch of white people about white people nonsense, right? And it was niggas up there with them facilitating they bullshit, right? And they the homies.
Well, you said what?
The homies.
There was what?
They was facilitating the bullshit, right?
You're proving my point, podcast. What was the
I'm just
standard?
trying to get my statement out, but apparently,
go ahead.
the new angry man, you're not gonna allow me to. Right?
Go ahead.
But I'm saying though, like the fact of the matter is this: as for some reason, as a black man in America, you don't get to point at white people and say, "This is what you did, this is what you're doing, and this is what you're trying to do." We don't get to do that for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Right?
It's weird.
If you do, you're gonna hear, "Oh, the white man, oh, the what do they call him? The boogeyman. Oh, that was this many years ago." All this stuff. I just was having a reparations conversation. I'm Black Man Unfiltered. Do you know anybody in this space who listens to what people say closer than I do?
No.
Like I did, right? So if I say you said it, you said it. More than like 99.9%, right? Bro, and it's like we still getting told, well, reparations wasn't real. It was just a promise, it wasn't legal. That happened this many years ago, that happened that many years ago. How can this still be affecting you in 2025? It's like, no, the conversation that we have about black people is not that black guy over there doing that bad thing. The conversation that we have about black people is black people steal, and why black people won't, and how come black people just can't, right? And so then when I say, oh, you want to have the conversation in totality, well, let me show you what happened to black people in totality, which is why you can say why they still like this. Because in my opinion, I think we actually doing okay, seeing everything that we've been through. Is to me, when a person starts trolling on that, I don't even want to pay attention to that person.
That's not what happened.
I ain't saying it is. I'm just speaking my own truth, as the women say, right? This is a serious ass subject, bro. Honestly, everybody knows this. Small hats. Do they practice group economics?
Yes, they do.
Asians, do they practice group economics?
Yes, they do.
In general, the successful white people, don't they practice group economics?
That they do. And nepotism.
But if we start talking about practicing group economics, blackity black.
Don't turn back.
Look at this leftist ass blackity black supremacist Malcolm X ass nigga.
Yep.
Right? You want me to shop at that place just because it's black.
Just because it's black.
Yeah.
That's not what just happened.
I'm not saying it is for the third time. I'm speaking my own truth about what frustrates me about the conversation when it becomes too playful and trollful, because it's a serious conversation, bro. Listen, I'm not gonna gaslight nobody, BMU, LIT. I'm not gonna gaslight nobody. I swear to God, every time I see an Asian person, they're in an Asian car. Every time. Toyota, Lexus, Honda, Infinity.
Nissan.
Every time.
Nissan.
Swear to God.
Nissan Quest.
Right. If Ekene came out right now with the Ekene Foot Runner, I'm sorry.
That shit lame as fuck.
That's a joke on African people. My bad, Ekene. But if Ekene came with the Ekene Foot Runner right now, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get that. That brother made that. You gonna buy it because he black? Yeah, we want to see the black car maker thrive. We want the industry to stay around for longer than 2 years. So yeah, we're gonna go buy that shit and hope that he put it together properly. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, podcast, is any of this directed to me? Is anything directed that?
Only thing that's directed to you is the fact that you troll on serious conversations. But I'm not necessarily saying that's what happened on this one, because like I said, I was watching the guy fry bacon. That shit was looking good. But I know you, so I just gotta assume the reason why the conversation went left is because you was trolling. But I ain't
why do you think I trolled him? Just take a wild guess.
Well, you already said why you do it, but the problem is you do it even when that ain't the case.
I did it because he over blackatized and tried to slip some bullshit I didn't say. That's why.
You got it. I'm just saying, can we just
Okay, fair game.
Can we just be honest though that we need more blackity black? Like, I'm just saying, I think I'm just right now I'm talking about I hope to God Candace Owens is setting herself up for a run for president.
Okay.
I ain't never voted. She run up voting.
I'll answer your question.
I love Candace more.
Blackity blacks do more white man work than he does. They do everything to go and find black people to shame, abuse, fight. They hate the Africans, the FBAs. They hate the women. They hate everybody, including their own damn selves. Starting with him. They're horrible.
Get the bill.
The answer is no.
Get this strap.
See what I mean?
So okay, so what does that make your
Everybody
standard
else
then?
does that too.
So what does that make your standard then?
Huh?
Oh, you can hear.
Not
You heard
even-
what that man said. What's your standard?
My standard, better question is what are my expectation? And for y'all, I don't know. Y'all can
Man,
do
what
it.
kind of judo chop reverse reverse card did you just pull?
When
man?
you ask,
Filthy motherfucker.
the whole point is when you're asking about a
That
standard.
was some nasty redirection. Answer that man a question, man. We ain't no women.
Okay,
Talk to that
better
man
question
straight
is
up.
what do you want? Okay, for lost in translation, what do you want to hear so I can repeat it word for word?
Listen,
I
you
want to
heard what
hear
said.
I want to hear the answer to
He
them.
asked you what your standard was. Yeah, if
When I
heard
said
it,
there's no
you heard
standard,
it.
I'm talking about as a collective of people.
How are you getting lost? How
When
are they
you charge
impossible?
black people to black people to being let's say detrimentally about the things that you know that
You're muted.
You're muted, Rogish.
It's actually making sense.
Scam, go ahead and answer the question. Let's give him an
It's a
opportunity.
bullshit question. You're
What's the
asking
question,
me
Rogish?
for the standards for the rest of the people.
It was a
Oh, Lost
bullshit
had the question.
question.
Go ahead, Lost.
It was a bullshit question when I asked Rogish, and you told him to hold his feet to the fire.
No, he gave you a bullshit
when I
answer.
asked
It
you
was
the
a bullshit
exact
question.
same question, it's a bullshit question. Is it bullshit?
No,
when
it
I
was
asked him?
bullshit when you asked
Is it
him. It was
bullshit when I
bullshit when
asked
you
you?
asked me.
I'm just
You're
asking.
asking me the standard for other people that I don't know.
No, that is not what he asked you. Rogish, could you repeat what you just asked?
This man was in the military. Why y'all ain't see what I'm saying? Why are y'all engaging in this?
All right, so my question is, with
He
the
knows
views that
damn
you
well that you can set a standard for everybody.
That's the whole point of the no standards. It means, like, what is the title? Black community. Then me and Tommy B established that we're talking about America. Then you say, what is your personal standard? That would mean that it's applying to America or black community and other people, correct?
Black people.
No,
And when
he
he
didn't ask
actually
you
was
for your
talking about all
personal
these
standard.
people.
He didn't ask you for your personal standard.
What do you want it? What do you want the community to look like?
Better.
You dumb. That's just dumb.
That wasn't good. Okay,
He's
worse.
trolling us with a straight face too.
that Samuel Jackson clip right there is
That was some
fucking
Jackson
hilarious.
5 moonwalk action right there.
Can't give you no kind of. The truth is, you don't want an answer. Whatever I say, it ain't right.
Man, we asked you a
white
question.
man.
If you don't know it, man, just
They
say it.
actually asking you for a long.
I ain't thought about. You know what? I ain't thought about
No,
that,
you're
brother.
not.
So I don't know. I ain't
I
thought
want
about
better
that.
people.
But you can't say
Healthier,
you ain't thought
stronger,
about
more
that because
healthier,
if you have
less
all this
violent,
critique
all that
for
stuff.
black people, you have this critique of black people stemming from a source, right? And it just so happens that it tends to take on an air of familiarity to those of us who don't have that particular critique of black people, who may hold some element of
You have it when it's
empathy
convenient.
within there. When
No,
it's
you have it when
convenient.
it's convenient.
Nah, look, homie, the fact that you came up saying, oh, then you rob a liquor store and all that shit. So I'm asking you, what is the standard? What is your standard that you see for black people? Obviously, it's not a black
The
one.
standard is robbing CVS. Is that? I mean, what do you want to hear, bro?
See, this is what I'm saying.
No
Now,
matter
I'm not
what I
blaming
say.
him. I'm not gonna
I
blame
said,
him.
man,
Son. I'm gonna blame you.
I
asked for better
want to
people
hear
and that
from you.
wasn't good
I'm a
enough.
KUNE, nigga. That's what I want to hear from you, homie. That's what I want to hear from you. I'm a fucking KUNE.
Can I just say,
Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you crazy?
Let
So
me,
I won't agree with his bullshit.
And let me interject.
His answer, his goal is to come and attack another black man, but he's black.
Now
This
we
is
attack
why.
you. So that's what
One
women
second,
use.
one second.
This is why.
Hold on for 1 second. I just want to interject one thing because Tommy B brought this up earlier, right? And I thought this was unfair. And this, I think, translation. I think this will show people that I'm actually fair. Tommy B said earlier that the white man created this over sexual environment, right? That shit ain't true. You gonna that shit is not true, and I'm gonna show you how. Because he talk about how all the women walk around in Africa naked, right? And it ain't no big thing. Yes, but they also fucking. Right, a lot, and making a whole lot of babies, right? Like it ain't even close. So I was looking it up. Right?
Okay.
So watch this. Wait,
hold
on. Tommy B, watch this. South Africa, Lower South Africa, right now they at what black women in the U.S. is at 1.9 children per woman, right? So South Africa is at 2.3. I think South Africa is a little bit more modern, right?
That's the motherland.
Ethiopia, 3.8. The Congo, here's where you're starting to get into where the titties is flowing and shit, right? 5.8. Nigeria, 5.2. Niger, 6.7 per woman. So they still having 5-6 kids out there with them titties out. So somebody
but Beans.
Okay, but you're not speaking about that being. You're not speaking about that being initiated by social promiscuousness, the same as within the United States, right? It's not just that they're sexualized in those nations. Here, it's exclusively for the intention for sexualization, right? There, you can't project American standards from there.
But for profit, though, right, son?
Profit. What you mean?
Yeah, like you would agree that the sexualization is mostly for profit, right?
No,
what are you talking about?
It's culture.
What are you talking
in America,
about, brother?
In America, it's culture here.
Beans.
What do y'all ask?
Beans.
I think we should ask Ekene, man.
Don't forget about feminism, homie.
Beans.
I don't trust Ekene more than I trust.
Because he doesn't. Because Beans doesn't know what he's talking about, man.
Beans.
Wait, what did I say?
Tell us about the what's going on.
Okay, let me tell you about it. You want to?
Is it flowing like
nappy head motherfucker?
Ekene, is it flowing like they say it's flowing, man? Tell us, man.
Man, this is just, you see, one thing is that before you start saying about something, you got to go there. The thing is, yes, Biz, you're correct about the statistics, but you're very wrong on the context. The reason why is because over here in America, the women they have kids out of wedlock. Over there in Africa, they have kids with their husbands, not out of wedlock. And then when it comes to working with TDs, that's like 200 years ago, 300 years ago, or in the villages. You see what I'm saying? In the villages. They can do that.
I'm not wrong.
Huh?
So I'm not wrong, because first of all,
No.
I didn't address whether or not they were single or married. All I'm saying is
100 years ago.
They screwing. That's all I'm saying.
No, they're not screwing. I gotta tell you. Let me tell you guys, because I'm in America. I can speak of America because I'm here now. But when I wasn't here, I didn't know shit about this country. It's just the same thing with you. When you go there, then you know. But if you haven't been there, you don't know shit about that place.
That's
you really
irrelevant.
know what you're
Yes or
told.
no? Do you agree with the
Okay,
statistics?
let me break it down for
Let's
you.
have a conversation real quick. Yes or no? Do you agree with the statistics?
The statistics on birth rate, yes, that is correct. But
okay, so wait.
But,
so in order for you to get pregnant, you have to do what?
You got to be married and have kids. And then
you're not married. You can get pregnant because you just said over here they having babies out of wedlock. So
okay.
you all
shut the fuck up.
What did you say? I don't understand what you said.
Because you misrepresented my point.
You just
please say my point.
Tommy, you promise to God, I want to make sure you get in there. But hold on, Ekene. What I'm saying is this: you just said over here they're having babies out of wedlock, which means you don't have to be married to have a baby. So my question to you is: in order to have a baby, what do you have to do? Have sex,
in Africa?
right?
You have to have
Anywhere
sex.
in the universe, as far as I know,
Well,
right?
that's a hell of an icebreaker.
No. But guess what? You deceiving and lying to the people in the background. That's the problem. Just to make your point, you have to say it under a context. You can't then jump out of the context and say that people are having sex in Africa anyhow. They're not
That
having
wasn't the
sex
point,
anyhow.
XJ. But that wasn't the
My
point. The
point
reason
will
why
clear that
No,
up.
your point is that they're having sex anyhow because I heard you perfectly clear. I was
no, but
quiet and I
wait, you're
heard what
missing
you
the point.
said.
It's what Tommy B is
I'm not
saying.
talking about beans. I'm
This
talking
is why
about my
Tommy B is
point.
trying to make the point. He's saying because I was taking what he was saying out of context. What I'm saying is
My
this.
point.
Go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
My point was not that they was not having sex. My point is we are literally telling women here to not dress a certain way because you might get it took. That's with clothes on. That's my point. That's how over sexualized it is over here. My point wasn't that nobody's over here having sex. My
I
point
didn't say
is
that was
you
your
can't.
point. What's wrong
No,
with you,
but
nigga?
okay, beans. What I'm saying is, so what I said had nothing to do with kids and none of that. What I'm saying is it's so over sexualized. Listen to what I'm saying. It's so over sexualized over here that if you
Mhm.
wear a mini skirt too high, they think you're at risk of somebody taking it. What I'm
Cool.
saying is where we came from, you could walk around bare and people aren't going, oh, somebody might snatch you and go da da da. That's what I
Absolutely.
meant when I said that. When I said we came over here, now all of a sudden you gotta have these clothes on, or you're gonna be in danger because we can't control ourselves. That
Oh,
was my
okay.
point. It wasn't that
I
we
got.
aren't having
Let me
sex.
let me
Hold on, hold
elaborate.
on.
Let me
One at, one at a time,
wait,
Ekanese.
hold
One
on
at
a
a
minute.
time. One at a time.
Let me elaborate on
Time.
what he just said. So no, Biz, wait. Let me elaborate on what he said so you can
Right.
get it. You can understand what he said. This is what he was saying. When I
Why do
was
you have
growing
to
up,
explain to me what he was saying? Like I heard what he
Biz,
said, I understood it.
The thing is this: you never want to listen to people.
I don't have a problem with listening. I'm saying he was
No, you
responding.
do because
I'm just saying,
you like to hear yourself talk, brother.
no, it's not the point. He was
Okay, go
talking
ahead
to
and
me.
talk. Just go
Right,
ahead
he
and
was
talk.
talking to me. I just want to respond to him since he was talking to
Oh,
me.
go ahead.
Then
Go
is this
ahead. Go ahead.
Tommy B. Only thing I reacted to was you saying that over there we walk around naked, and over here they can't do that because we would be super sexually charged. What I'm saying is they super sexually charged over there too. And the reason why you know that is because they having 6 kids per damn woman.
Okay,
Right?
let me.
Okay,
No, big guy. Tommy, hold on a minute. Let me address that real quick. When we were growing up as little kids, right? This is what happened. When we travel to the villages, right? We have people walk around with bare breasts.
Mhm.
Everybody, my father, my brothers, everybody, see women walk around, especially in the villages, not in the big city. In the villages, nobody reacted.
Mhm.
Nobody reacted for any moment.
Mhm.
And women that were having kids started having kids because they've married. And the reason why they have more kids like that in Africa is because Africa believe in family.
Right,
If you have
familiar
one or
structure.
two kids or three kids, right? Your mother-in-law will come and meet you. Your mom will go and meet your wife and tell her, "Why did you stop at three? You got to give my child more kids." Because like in my family, right? In my family with my last name, we are about 50 boys, 50 men, and about 20 women. So the entire big family, right? We are about almost 100 and something. And all these 100 and something were only had by, let's say, approximately 12 or 14 women have all these kids. And they all had it married. But when we see women in our family, like my sisters, walking in the house with bare breasts, I never reacted to that because that's what I grew up with. My mom walking around the house with no bra on. My sisters, the older one and the younger one, walking around the house. My cousin sisters walking around the house with no thing on. But they do have underwears. They do have from their waist down, yes, but from their waist up, nothing. And I never reacted to that. But when I came to America here, a sister can't even walk around her brother. So that's what my Tommy was trying to say, and I back him on that one. That's
Right.
true.
When you're
So
talking about
beings,
when you're talking about a familiar system.
people didn't have all those kids because they want to fuck. No,
Right.
And having children in Africa is a duty that is given to women.
So
got you. Hold on, please let me respond to this. And you see how you was able to just flow through that, right? That's what I'm saying. We all should be able to do that shit, right?
Except me.
Child marriage in here's the thing: marriage in Niger. So he's right? These people are mostly married, right? About 76% of Nigerian girls are married, right? Even before their 18th birthday. So he's right. But here's the thing: approximately 28% are married before age 15.
Right, they married.
Okay, but hold up. You're judging culture based off of America now. So there's no comparison of culture. Nah, what you trying to do is stand on some American shit.
You don't know what I'm trying to say because you don't know. You would know exactly what I'm trying to say if you be quiet and let me finish.
I know exactly what you're saying, dog. That's why you said that shit out of pocket the first time.
Don't say what I'm trying to say.
We sexing over here, they sexing over there, so they're just as bad.
Getting up the show if you wrong.
So what's the standard?
Stop, man. Come on, Beans.
Go ahead, Beans.
Okay. He's making the argument that these women are married, right?
He's making the argument that they run with a familial system.
You'll be able to respond to him, Rogish.
I never made a distinction about whether they were married or not. I was making the argument that these women being naked is absolutely inciting sex, right? So again, Niger, right? 76% of the girls are married before their 18th birthday. Approximately 28% are married before the age of 15.
Okay.
Niger has the highest child marriage rate globally.
Okay.
So don't tell me that them being naked ain't affecting them.
You don't tell me. You can't tell me that you reading about that one nation is something that's going to talk about all the nations of the continent of what 54 different nations, not to mention all the different fucking tribal and the cultures. You want to span that shit. Look, this what shows you what the standard is. This is the issue. He coming in at this shit like some fucking American and shit, like they supposed to be beholden to American standards of what? Moral and value simply because they might walking around a little bit less clothed than over here? Are you kidding me? There is no comparison with that.
I can't even believe that.
What Nick saying is not true, though. He's speaking from one perspective of his country. We can't not here sit here and say, with all them black folk running around Africa, they ain't just as horny as niggas in America.
It ain't about if you horny or not. It's about if you have the adequate. It about if you have the adequate social system in order to funnel any of that. He said they have a familial model, and y'all still talking about his standard. What it is that he's about, where he is. Do black people have a familial? Do black people have a familial model here? No, they do not. They rest their laws on this old fuck ass country that hates them.
So what I was trying to say, and kind of what he said, literally made my point. None of us would be comfortable with our sisters walking around the house with their titties out because we've made that sexual. That's normal over there because as soon as they see a titty, the first thing in their head ain't sex. Is what my point is.
So okay, so Tommy, let me ask you this: why are they having so much sex?
Because they're fucking people and they're family familial, nigga. Why the fuck he just said it? Is you slow, cuz?
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Let me answer. No, Tommy, let me answer that question for you, please.
Why can't he answer it?
No, because you keep debating. Okay, no, he answered that question already before, a couple of times to you, and you keep asking the same question again.
I haven't.
So let me.
No,
you did.
I asked that question.
Tommy, did he ask you that question multiple times or not?
Before. Why are they having so much sex, Tommy? Yes or no?
Did he ask you that question before, Tommy?
No, he didn't ask me that. And I said what I said originally was
let's see if
point was my point was never that they do not have sex. I never made that point. I never made that point.
Tommy, why you doing this? I'm telling you specifically what I'm addressing is the idea that over here somehow we're over sexualizing women
Beans.
over here versus what we do over there. And I'm saying I
Beans.
don't
I
think that
just watched.
is true.
I just
let's
watched a
address
documentary.
that. That's all I'm addressing.
Okay, Beans, go to Netflix. Go watch the fucking documentary on Woodstock 99. These fuck niggas couldn't even not rape 4 fucking girls there because they fucking titties was out.
I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about us.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm talking about. That's literally why I'm talking about black people in Africa. That's
This is what I gotta.
why I'm talking about black people in Africa. I'm not talking
This is what I gotta say.
about us. I'm saying don't blame them for us being so damn horny.
Don't
We
blame who?
horny, nigga, all around the damn world.
No, listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the way that we look at stuff. Perfect example. When what's her name? Jess Hilarious took that picture with her baby. People were outraged because she was naked with her baby. Newsflash, she was naked when she had the motherfucker too. But because soon as we see a naked body, the first thing that goes into our brain is
It's
that
sex.
now it's inappropriate that she took a picture with her child naked. That's what I mean. That's the mentality that I'm talking about. Every time we see naked body, it automatically goes to sex. That's why I brought it the point when I was in elementary school. We had a chick that came over from overseas. She had a regular magazine, and it was naked chicks in there. Here, that would have been a porno magazine. That was just a regular art magazine over there.
Okay, so Tommy, so you would also then say the idea that a woman's body is for her husband alone, that's also, you're saying, a European idea.
That's an African idea.
Is
I'm
it?
not sure
If
whose
everybody's
idea that
fucking
is.
walking around naked, how could it be an African
Hold on a
idea?
minute. An African idea is that a man can have,
But
it's only a married man can have sex with his wife. But in terms of nakedness, right?
Right, that's what
In
I'm
terms
talking
of a
about.
woman being, remember what I said, the nakedness in Africa is from the waist up. That is what is tolerated.
Right.
A woman in Africa cannot have nakedness from waist down. She
Okay.
can't do that. Waist up is what is allowed. Because and
So
then let me say what
y'all don't,
no,
so
let me
y'all don't.
also comment what Tommy was saying earlier. He also said something about when I was 6, 7 years old, I used to have shower with my mother.
You showered with
When
your
I
mother?
Yep, she would take me into the bathroom and then she would bathe me.
Well,
And
you
then
was a little slow then, because when the
I
boy
was
said
yeah.
10 years
But
old
guess
shower,
what? You see how messed up you guys can be in the
and
head.
that
Because when I
response
was
being
10
to my
years
point.
old, I was showering with my dad at 10, 1990. Me and my dad would go into the shower and he would pull off his clothes. I would pull off my clothes and then we'll shower. My dad would be using the shower head to mess with me, to be playing with my face. And I'll be like, you see, because I enjoy the shower on my head, right? I never saw it at nothing, even up until I was 11 and then went out to 7th grade because 7th grade was a boarding school. When I went out to boarding school, that was the last time I ever showered with my dad. But over here, these kids will shower with their parents and somebody's going to jail because you guys sexualize everything.
Well,
No,
listen,
man.
I'll grant you this. I just want to say, I'll grant you this. The fact that people in sports shower together and then we make a big deal out of all this other stuff, you have an argument, right? So that's a great argument. But what I'm asking specifically, because I just want to understand, what you saying that from the waist up is okay, then you're saying y'all don't view breast as a sexual organ, what's the word? Organ. Y'all don't view breast as a sexual organ?
It's not sexualized. You don't understand when they saying that we're too hypersexualized over here, and that's the reason why Tommy B brought up that magazine, because it was particularly that the chick's breast was out, and it was a regular magazine. I think we said she's from France or Italy or something like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
over here, so no, the breast is not supposed to be supposed to be sexualized upon visualization. The breast holds function, just
Can I
like
answer that
any other any other body, just like any other body part. Its function is what its chief viewing is and measurement is in those societies. You can't measure this by so-called American standards, because you're viewing this from one that has a sexualized filter. You wasn't even understanding just the fact that you was calling into some form of accountability. The filter that you was judging by is sexualized, homie.
Okay,
You
so
know what I
listen.
hate about motherfuckers like you that just really think they so smart?
It ain't got nothing to do with being smart, motherfucker. Just sit back and accept the game, nigga. Just cause you started feeling what a motherfucker was putting down. Now you can pick up what a motherfucker putting down, and now your ass feels some kind of way about it. So you know what? Because you use these big words and I don't know what they mean, I'ma take offense. So watch your mouth, right? You one of them motherfuckers. Crisscross applesauce and soak some game, motherfucker. All you got to do is stay mute.
Doesn't make you fucking smart. You're a dumbass. I'm literally asking him questions. I'm not making any statements. You dumb motherfucker.
Get your mark ass out of here. You was talking from a sexualized filter from the jump. And you weren't even acknowledging that. You weren't even aware of that. That was the whole issue. That's the whole issue. You wasn't even aware of it.
What's the standard, sir?
They're having sex, so they must be sexualized too. Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
They absolutely are sexualized.
But Beans, that's what I'm saying. Beans,
Wait, is that the same place where they cut off women's clits? You stupid retarded motherfucker.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
He got a point there.
Yeah, he does have a point there.
No, it doesn't have a point there. It doesn't have a point there because it's not every town in Africa that cuts.
Is that across the continent? Is that the sentiment of the whole continent? This niggas is judging the whole continent based off of a couple of things what he might know from some cultures that I put my life on it that he can't fucking pinpoint. Africa.
No,
all Africa. Fuck out of here, cuz.
You know he's retarded, right?
Fuck out of here. Just cause your ass started, you know what? That nigga makes some sense. So I gotta fight him now. I gotta fight him now because he was making some sense. All you had to do was mute up. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna help you out, Beans. I'm gonna help you out. You know what? You know what? That's a good point. You know what? I didn't think about it like that. You know what? Hey, thank you for presenting that to me. I wasn't thinking about it from that measure. So perhaps maybe I could have had a biased view in that. Let me go back and reassess. You know how easy that is? Shut your ass up and learn something. You act like you can't learn nothing up here. Just like homie said, you want to hear yourself talk. You didn't have to hear yourself talk with that. You could have absorbed exactly what I gave you there. I gave you a nugget. I gave you a nugget, homie. I gave you a nugget, and you still on defense. You went on defense the moment that I stopped talking.
Damn, I don't have to be
still on defense. That's all right, American. You good, American. You good, American. You good, American. You good. You good, American. The Los Angeles Lakers are the world champions, right? Your worldview is an American worldview, and that makes it white. That makes it white. That makes it limited, and that makes it white.
This is the black.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
The question to you, Ekene, not to him, was: are you saying that from the breast up that y'all don't view those as sexual organs?
No, the reason why we don't view it as sexual organ, like I said earlier, is because it's something we grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
We see it all the time, so it's not sexual. To us, breast it signifies feeding,
right?
So it was never something of sexual. That is why a woman not putting on clothes on, waist up, it's not a problem because we all grew up. We see our sisters in the house. It's like every day when you wake up in the morning, you see your sister, you see your mom naked. That's up. My mom is not. My mom, I would say, as we grew, she covers herself down. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even with underwear, she still cover herself. But when we were younger, she did. When she comes into the house, she's taking everything off after work, except if there are people coming to the house. Then she has to dress proper for that. But in the village, right? People come into your compound. You practically the women don't have anything on.
Right.
Above waist. So no man is interested in that because it wasn't sexualized. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I came here, and then I found out that breast was a major thing for sexual appetite, for sexual attraction. But over there, breast was nothing. We didn't really pay attention to the breast. We didn't see breast of a sexual value. But in Africa, yeah, we look at a woman's waist down as a sexual value. You see,
There you go.
especially when you get older.
So I have a question based
When you
on
get
that.
older.
Yeah.
I have a question for everybody, right? Because when we distinguish in these countries and the cultures, right? Okay, so Beans just read something that is really alarming to me, right? Because we have children. Some of us have daughters. Any of you niggas letting a 35, 40-year-old marry y'all 16, 14, 15-year-old daughter? So I don't care what.
Coach Ferg, that's now though. I mean, that was part of the culture for a long fucking time before somebody said it was nasty. Come on now, it was 35-year-old niggas marrying 14-year-old girls.
But just because we can do something don't mean it's right. Don't mean it's good. But
hold on, but Coach
Ferg,
you're wrong on that. You're wrong on that.
You niggas is nasty.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Coach Ferg. I'm telling you, these niggas are probably 80, 85 years old in my family from the South. And these niggas be at them family reunions telling them old stories. And they said, when you get married, he said, the things that y'all see today as nasty, it's only nasty because you guys have recultured yourselves to think it of that way. He said, back in the day, a 14-year-old girl back in the day could run a motherfucking house.
Yeah, that's
better than a 30-year-old woman can in 2023. It was 2023. But hold on, let me say this. He said, when you get married, what do you call the man? What is he in the wedding?
The groom.
He said, what does that mean, grandson? That means
the man
he's marrying her young enough to groom her into the wife that he wants her to be.
Damn, fuck the fathers, huh? Just go to the old nigga that want to let come.
Right? No. But Coach Ferg, you're missing the point. These niggas are
the
married.
Father can't groom the kids.
Coach Ferg, I want you to understand what I'm saying. These old niggas that married these young girls, their marriages lasted 70 years, 63 years. They've been married for 58 years.
I understand that because
they were enslaved.
But again, BMU, it came through the culture from the beginning. Ain't nobody But listen. Okay. Listen,
I'm just saying, I gotta speak on this.
But who's playing? Okay.
So hold on, Coach Ferg, pause for a second. So Scam just said they were enslaved. So basically, Joseph, in the biblical term, enslaved Mary.
So talking about Joseph, I was talking about these.
No. You said any older man that marries a younger woman has enslaved her, correct?
That's not what I was talking about. It wasn't talking about age. I was talking about them Southern people. See, back in the day, we was perfect. We had it all.
Okay, so Sam, you trolling again. I never
That's
said
what I'm
any of those words.
Engaged it though.
Yeah, you're right. My thing is this.
That wasn't what I was referring to.
It wasn't considered nasty until a motherfucker said it was, and they changed everything.
That's not what I was referring to.
But BMU, let me ask you something. BMU, let me ask you something. Because now I'm asking genuinely, right? Would you say what is the biggest reason for men to be marrying these women? And particularly, I'm looking at Sudan right now and Sudanese women, where 80 to 90% of them will be married at some point in their life. Over 50% are married before 18, 9 to 10% married before age 15, right? And they also are heavily practicing in polygamy. So would you not say that sex was the biggest reason for these practices?
Beans, let me help you out. The average age of a man's mortality was roughly about 50 some odd years old. That's the only reason why.
No. Wait a minute. I don't know if y'all think this. I'm not talking about something that went on 30 years. I'm talking about
it's happening right now.
And I'm looking at right now our statistics.
I don't know why they're doing it now.
Right. So my question is, but simply put, then or now, wouldn't the biggest reason for this practice be sex? What else could the biggest reason be? Not saying there couldn't be any other ones.
Dude told you, like they told you earlier, is the thing is you trying to Americanize their situation so that it fits the narrative, you know what I'm saying, that you wish to have substantiated.
Beans.
He already took.
Beans is right too. We can't. I mean, maybe it's cultural to walk around with your tits out, but even the African, you're gonna try to tell me, Woman got a nice little shapely tits, man. It's a little cold, those nipples are a little hard and shit. And she's walking with them hips towards you, and the shits are bouncing. That nobody gets like a little blood flow. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It's all on TikTok. It's all on TikTok.
It's
they
not
on TikTok. They run up behind the girl.
It's not about if anybody gets aroused or not, right? It's not about if anybody gets aroused or not. What he shared was that, look, we have a familial system. And in the familial system, the relations are completely different. We can't judge that based off of here in America because there are no standards here. Here, everything is for sale. Here, anything can be sexualized. The only reason that these Peckerwoods got a motherfucking age of consent is because they don't go too motherfucking low. Now let's keep it 100 with that.
Listen, part of what you said, I agree with the sexualization.
What's your name again? Mr. Payne, hold on, Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, I want to throw you a question because this is what I'm saying. All this shit we keep talking about, and I don't know, I guess my man just hates America, but if I'm literally reading to you and it's saying that they're married, so we're acknowledging that these people are married. We're acknowledging that this is way different from Western culture. We're acknowledging that they're heavy in polygamy. So this shit don't have fucking nothing to do with America at all. What I'm saying is simply, are these men over here marrying as much as they are and practicing polygamy because it's godly? Or are they fucking trying to fuck something?
Because this their family system. It is a familial system. It's foreign to you here. And that's why you charging it like that. It's a familial system. You don't understand that.
Yeah, let me answer that to you, Biz, okay?
Niggas want more than one woman. That's the problem.
You goddamn shit. Ain't nothing wrong with more than one woman.
Let me say this, but before I say what I want to say, I got to ask Coach Ferg, which city are you located in? New York area?
What's that?
Are you located in New York area?
Oh, where am I located? No, I'm in the Midwest, by the Ohio River, close to Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. Let me say this real quick, right? I think I've said this in a different show, but let me say it here. Africa prioritizes family over sex.
Okay.
Sex is not the problem why we practice polygamy. Hence, some men don't practice it. But the men that practice polygamy, especially back in the days until now, they practice because they want kids. They like big family. People that practice polygamy in Africa, mostly people that come from polygamy family. And the reason why their fathers practiced polygamy was because they had big farms back in the days. And they need children in order to be able to manage those farms. Then today, most people that practice polygamy today in Africa are mostly men with wealth, with huge amount of wealth, just like men in those days practice it were farmers that had vast land. Today are usually men with huge amount of wealth. So what they will do is that they will marry a second wife, a third wife, maybe because his first wife didn't really have more than 2 or 3 sons. You see what I'm saying? Maybe she had only 5 girls and 2 boys. And now he need more sons because those girls are all going to be gone. He need more sons to be able to expand his wealth. Whenever Africans have more than one wife, they do it for wealth raising. Because number one, if you don't have money in Africa, you cannot practice polygamy. That shit is expensive.
And most of y'all ain't got no money. Most Africans ain't got no money. Let's be real. Most
okay, Mr. Feg, I got to tell you. No. Let me answer him because you got to understand one thing, right? This, right? Do you know why Americans are let me answer you. The reason why Americans are one of the most arrogant, stupid.
Man, you've been talking about America since I seen you on YouTube.
If nappy head motherfucker doesn't make sense, I would have to respond. When I came to America, right, I understand that Americans have wealth, but it's usually the Americans without wealth that will insult Africa when it comes to wealth. Let me tell you this, right? If you come to Africa, right, and I've begged you many times, go to Africa because it will shut you down. African Americans that have been to Africa will not speak like you. Because you know one thing that they know? Africa has a lot of wealth. I got to tell you that. Africa has a lot of wealth. A lot of wealth. They might not flash it the way you guys flash it here, but I got to tell you, when you go to Africa, Mr. Feb, with your American dollar, you're going to still be one of the poorest guys there. Because guess what? US dollar doesn't make that much difference in Nigeria.
My question is this.
No, because I've heard you guys here say all the time, oh, dollar goes a long way. No, it doesn't go a long way in Nigeria.
I don't care about how much money we all got. Everybody on YouTube is $1,000. Everybody's $100,000. But niggas,
I'm poor. I ain't got no money. I sold it all.
So the question I'm still
But
asking.
you guys speak like you millionaires, man, in America.
The question I'm asking you, since you're from there, right? And you have a cultural mindset from there. Are you still, no, not you. So you mean tell me today they're still practicing where they're going and getting these young 14, 15-year-old girls, right? And they're marrying them. That's my whole issue.
He can only speak for one culture. He can't speak for all of Africa.
No, that's fine.
No. Speak for all of Africa, man.
I will answer
Nigeria.
No, he just asked me a question, but let me answer him.
Y'all are killing
Mr. Ferg, it kind of bothers me. No. Let me answer you. It kind of bothers me that in America we are okay with a girl being 14, 13 years old having kids out of wedlock. But when somebody, I'm coming. But when somebody 28 years old or 25 years old provides shelter for a girl that young, now we're all freaking out. Oh, but you're okay with your daughter having child at 14. But you're not okay with your daughter getting married at 14. What the hell is wrong with us?
Or killing that child. Or killing that child 3 times over. So that the family don't have no shame, right? Also cool with that here.
Oh, committing abortion.
The fact that you needed to lie,
oh my God. I want to hear the word standard for the rest of the night, bro.
It's just horrible, right? Nobody
How did I lie?
Nobody is celebrating. Nobody is okay with young girls having babies out of wedlock or having babies at all. And as a matter of fact, we've really been celebrating the fact that those numbers have drastically dropped in the last 10 years. Like, these girls really ain't having babies at all. A lot of these girls is waiting till they damn near 30 to have their first kids, even though that's
Africans are not having kids. Are not getting married at 14.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference, bro. Here's the difference, Ekene. What I'm doing is this. I'm reading data. Right. So I'm not making up shit as I go along, right? I'm just reading what the numbers say. Whatever it say about niggas here, that's what it say. Whatever it say about niggas over there, that's what it say. I ain't changing shit.
But the perspective that you're calling him into is based off of being a fucking American. So based off of what quality that you see America as, you're trying to call him or to be the representative of all of Africa, of all of motherfucking Africa, and you answer for all of Africa, and I'm talking for all of America.
Listen to me. Don't
so what's the standard?
No, that's fine.
The standard is white people, and nobody want to fucking admit that. The standard of these motherfucking pilgrims, this nigga can't admit that that's what the fuck he talking about, right? Dust got an issue acknowledging it, right?
Nigeria, I said something about
let me answer him real quick. Let me answer him real quick. Let me answer you.
Have a conversation with me, Ekene. Listen.
I'm having a conversation with you. I heard what you said, but let me answer you real quick. You gotta be careful when you read those data online. I'll tell you the reason why. America NGOs manipulate data for one reason, for funding. They manipulate data for funding. And I'll tell you why. When it comes to 14-year-old kids, you remember when you said something about Niger, right? Mm-hmm. There is northern Niger towards Libya. It's a very, very Islamic. It's very, very Islamic area. Mm-hmm. Yes, you will see something like that. The same thing with northern Sudan. Northern Sudan also have that kind of thing that the Muslims over there, they marry very young. Mm-hmm. But then when the south you come, right, or the west you go from those two countries, now you're getting 17, 18 years marriage and above. In Nigeria today, in northern Nigeria, right, you're going to get 14. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to get 14, 15 years marriage because of the Islamic religion out there, right? But the south you go, it changes, mama. It changes drastically. Now you got to start getting 19, 20, 21, or maybe after college or right before graduation from college. Most women over there want to get married, just like white women do here. Actually, they copy that from Africa because in Africa, the women get married before they graduate from college. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, what I'm saying, listen what I'm saying.
Good morning.
What you just said was literally what I was reading. If y'all was just stop getting your panties in a bunch. When I first started reading, and remember I read the marriage rate numbers, and what I told you, in South Africa, not the marriage rate, the birth rates, the women were having 2.3 kids per woman. And then I started showing you how the numbers went up. In the Congo, it was 5.3, right? And it was 6.7, and I forget what the other place was called. Niger, as a matter of fact, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, the data is backing up what you're saying. Even when you talk about the age ranges, even when you talk about which countries are more Islamic, all of what I'm looking at is saying exactly what you're saying. But you can't listen to the guy who's trying to convince everybody that we're asking you, or we're trying to speak for the entirety of Africa when we're literally naming the countries.
We're talking standard.
We're saying Nigeria. We're saying these places. So we're not talking about.
Why are you bringing them up as them not having a quality standard that is comparable to America? Because we're talking standards.
Is that the reason? Ain't no damn standard. Bringing up these specific.
He's not talking standard. This nigga's trying to win a fucking argument.
In Niger and all of these places,
there never was a standard.
Those specific places, because those were the specific places where they tended to walk around naked or practice nudity. So that's why we were talking about those places specifically. See,
we wasn't talking about those places. You was talking about those places because you're trying to make America seem like it's some form of qualitative standard to measure from, right? Yeah, you is.
I haven't spoken at all.
You do when you talking about they got their titties out.
I don't know why you trying to be.
What the fuck are you talking about? Where the fuck are you from, nigga? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Where did your social standard come from that ain't America?
Appreciate y'all for coming. We thank you for coming to the Barbershop After Hours tonight. Thank you, Beans. Thank you,
After Hours. Let it go longer, you lazy bastard.
Rogan.
That's not the standard, sir.
Cost money to go past 2 hours.
Lost, man. Thank y'all, man. Hey, these shorts are gonna be amazing. In about an hour, y'all be able to see all the shorts from this show. So Beans,
cash out.
But I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. And the conversation was great. Rogish, y'all going back and forth, man. Try to, we're gonna have to keep these conversations going, man. So we'll see y'all next week, Monday. Our pain to be rocking Monday. We'll be flipping tables again on Tuesday. Wednesday, sports show. Thursday, we got Between the Lines with Lost in Translation. Friday, Barbershop. Sunday, we got the plug. And after the plug, we have the gray area. So, man, y'all tune in every day, man. We cooking every day. All right, man. So y'all have a great night. And we out. Peace.